Alright, hello, hello. Hopefully everything is working right. Well, I had to kind of stop and restart that once, but seems like everything is fine now. Although I have to say, hopefully it doesn't notify every single person in existence. I think we might want to change a little bit. Okay, there we go, new thumbnail. Alright, so today we have a pretty focused task, so it's going to be pretty fun. For some reason the link is not showing. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so we're doing this little thing over here. So we have all of this, now we just have to make that work. So here we have our, hello Soroku, welcome to the stream. I do not believe I've seen you before, but welcome anyways. So here we should have something pretty simple. Hey Kilo, welcome. Yeah, I'm currently detailing the grenades a little bit more. And then right after I want to do the rifle grenade stuff, because that looks really good for pictures. It's also a key functionality. Tungsten grenades, that's crazy. Moai smoking emoji, interesting choice. Here we have that's good. Still don't have lighting yet. We can do that after And then here, I believe there's a set pick color. There should be another set up here, and that's in the load function. So that shouldn't be a problem. We just copy and paste that over. I think the idea is just to try to keep it kind of simple. I feel like I've already made pretty good headway. Pretty good headway with with the simple blowback system that we currently have for the pistols. I actually don't remember reading Rixas chat that much, but I don't think many people did much with the pistols, because there wasn't that much to do yet with those. ROF... That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, did you not see that we have pistols now? So that goes there, so everything should be kind of functional. And I'll have to make it save the colors too. Yeah, I think that's a good starting point to think about it. Wow, it's red. For battleground units, I think it's always like a regular thing. No, I'm not what I'm saying. Okay. So what this means for... Yeah, ignore me. I cannot concentrate on talking and doing stuff at once. But yeah, you still should be able to do some basic stuff on the battlefield here. You can see on the most recent post in progress how I was working on some explosion stuff. Right now we have a new fortification system, but that one is not done yet, so there's some fortifications that appear out of thin air. Well, not thin air, it's just a lot more progress in a short amount of time. Yeah, once it goes here, kind of goes like that. I still need to fix the icons too. Oh shoot. I forgot which hotkey I had to... Okay, there it is. We have these icons which I need to change. Yeah, it's all automatic. But here you can see all these guys have one machine gun in their company, so... Trench system still needs to be worked on a bit. This one's just kind of showcasing for what the final result looks like there. But yeah, you can see all their mini foxholes here, which are all automatic. Oh dear. I think I had a different company for showing this. Let me see. What is D? Why is the text so small? It wasn't like this before. Yeah, this D type is kind of showcasing their own weapon types, I believe. So I think I can demonstrate that. You can see the instant communication line, which needs to be tweaked, of course. But looks cool. Yeah, so you can see, that is not supposed to be the final result for that. Yeah, here we can start to see different symbology there, based on the weapon classifications. So yeah, so we're thinking of changing it to a British symbology, because the German one's a bit confusing. Especially the ones that I think that look nice. Like here you can't really tell from a glance what that is from slightly farther away, because they all look pretty similar. Yeah, it's definitely an idea. Just seeing like which one looks nice and kind of fits the best for the image that I'm looking for. So here we have to do that. I think I put the colors all down here. Yeah, that is correct. So I think I can just take those colors and put them in here. This is a funny thing you can do in Godot, by the way. You can create multiple cursors. So we're putting this here. And then we also need the specific variables as well. You shove them in there to save them. So now that we have these over, we can start kind of working on their specifics. So one thing I need to do for the grenade drawer is to draw the casing again if interior is true. I don't think I have an interior yet, do I? The interior function. Okay, so that's how I did it here. And a little bit inconsistent. I guess we start with like false first, and then we can do that. If not interior, we draw another one on top. So here I just want to check if everything... Oh, I didn't... No, it won't save correctly because I have not passed those things through. So let's look here to see how I did it before. So all of this is like that. That makes sense. That's a good way to do it. So it goes down here. And then we take all of this. Hey, Wahoo, what's up? So we're going to merge like this. And we're going to do the Grand Destroyer of Death. What you see here is some insane black magic. Oh dear, that's not supposed to happen. Oh, nice. What are you reading? Oh, that's cool. Let me search that up. Okay, that's cool. Pretty based novel. I personally have been reading a lot of Korean slop. So the main Korean like web or like light novel publishing thing now has like a global page for the official English translations, which I haven't done before, which is cool. And they DMC'd all the fan translators. The good thing is that they have a free premium plan going on until September 7th. So I'm just reading, trying to finish as many as possible that I've had on my reading list. Like I would say on average, like the average Korean written character is better than the average Japanese written character. As in the characters actually have things that they want to do. So it's like, it's sophisticated slop, but still not the next big literary thing. Okay, I think that should work. And I'm gonna pass that through the save. I think my microphone might be crushy. Let me check the filters. I don't think it's doing a good thing. Okay, so right now there is noise suppression. I actually haven't listened to myself on this computer. But yeah, right now the only filter I have right now is noise suppression. Yeah, but I feel like if I turned off, it just, you can hear like all like my fan running and also my keyboard typing, which can be very annoying. Although I think some of my keyboard sound gets through anyways. Because I have a silly blue switched thing that I use. And even though blue switches are not the loudest, they're still pretty loud. I just like blue switches because they're clicky, and that's on my fingers. Or tactile as people call it. Okay, so that's the grenade with the casing on. That looks weird. And then I need to cover up the fuse as well, but let's just check if everything else is functional first. What would be a color code for World War I grenades? This? And also need to add lighting effects afterwards. And then some pattern on top. Although I'm not sure how to use 2D to draw a pattern with this type of shape. How good it would look. The original British World War I rifle grenade was pretty cool. Hey Tabletka. What's up? Welcome. Yeah, the Hales rifle grenade. Yeah, one thing I found about grenades which is interesting is that the external grooves don't do anything. Like a lot of grenades had some grooves on the outside early on, even if they weren't meant to be thrown by hand. So it wasn't made for like non-slip either. It's just like, wow. And they realized that it didn't contribute anything to the shrapnel effect or the fragmentation. I think I have to do this part as well to change. I think that's a hard-coded value for that color. I think the inside can stay the same. But then when I have to cover the outside, then that has to change. So that's part of that fuse. Oh, okay. I see. So I'm guessing we can do something similar with the lightning effect. So we're just gonna call that spoon color. Pretty sure that's what it's called. Oh yeah, for the cartridge drawer I have to change that as well. Because the inside color always stays the same, I think, still. Because I don't have that marked as I fixed that. Let me try. Spoon color. Darkened. Okay. So we're gonna reset the default value first. Did I break something? Okay, that's supposed to do something. So inside the update function, there's probably something here that changes the color. Although I don't think that's really the case, right? It goes to set pick color. Yeah, I don't see why it's still the same color. Let's fix that first. Maybe I changed the default color? No, it should be like this. Let's change that. Okay, so that went through. Oh, I see, okay. So I can fix the other function as well, because the cartridge one was the oldest one I've ever did, so... Okay, yeah, you can see that that does do that. Okay. So now we are going to change this value. Actually, it should be lightened now. Yeah, it should be lightened. Then we're going to carefully observe that this color stays. .01 degree barrel spread. I think that should be pretty good. Talking about a 9mm pistol, it doesn't have to be that accurate, and also 0.01 is a pretty good value, I think. I can't do the triangle math on the top of my head, but should still be accurate at the ranges that pistols go for. You can steal the formula from the competition if you're curious about the actual spread of the target. Damn, that's crazy. I think I have to lighten it a bit more. Maybe something like this. They're about the similar shade of lightness. I'll give it a pass. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that message, Abahu. How lighting's gonna work? It's gonna be similar to the cartridge one, where I just shine a light on it. I am scared of the abomination that you're making. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's save this color. Hey, Thorold Flametail. Oh dear. I guess that didn't work. Is this your first time seeing the project, by the way? Some reason the color is not propagating properly. That's a fun word to say. Oh, okay. Obviously, that's kind of stupid of me here. I also need to do the other parts of this, which is these two, baseband 1 and 2 boolean. It's easy checkbox. Muzzle energy of about 500. Yeah, I think that's normal. Yeah, Rixas is a pretty code-heavy game during development. Although I think for many games, I think many games are still pretty code heavy. I just think Rixas is a bit more once you look more into it. But I'm sure like normal action roguelikes still have quite a bit. But I do know that people use like the UE5 visual coding system as well. So that's a different approach that one could take. And then this goes... But yeah, Rixas is a game about grand strategy. And the twist is that you are in control of a lot of things, but also not in control of a lot of things. At least from the normal grand strategy or 4X game perspective. Okay, so now I think it should work. Never mind. Did I save that properly? Okay, I think it's because it's down here. Pretty sure those two are supposed to stick together. No? Really? Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, I think it's realistic because I do think handgun barrels are quite thin in real life. This one should be green. Yeah, hopefully the pistol's cheap. But I do think the current Rixas cost system is quite flawed because it's based on raw material times multiplier. Why is this not working? Okay, so the color is there. Ah, okay. I think I missed set pick color. If I go to feed to grenade class first, we can try to see how this one works. Okay, so I have to set the color and then set the pick color. That's an interesting bit of torture. As to why that is, it's probably because of that there's no actual connection between the two. So we're just going to slog through typing these four values. It's always fun. Okay, that's nice. So with that, this should finally work. Okay, there we go. So now we have the coloring that's functional, which is always a good sign. And then now we need to make different function to kind of cover up the internals. Kind of curious, how is... So all of them have the same width, so you can kind of deal with them like that. Yeah, this one we have to put another thing on top, and then make that. Okay, so this one we have to do a different one. Interesting. Potato masher. Did I do the ring as well? I also have to change the spoon color. Since pin and lever. And I believe there's like a draw circle in here somewhere. Draw arc. Yeah. It's gonna be this one. That's the important one. Okay. So now that we kind of have that, now we need to draw over the fuse. So this is gonna make this function a lot longer. Oh dear. This is what drawing pragmatically gets you. Every individual brush stroke is a line of code. Oh, it's good for me because I actually like it this way. Although I'm sure that you can do something with textures, but I do not have that knowledge as of now. So fuse probably goes somewhere in here. Where's the pin and lever? So this is the filling, and then we have this part. Not sure what this one exactly draws. Let's just toggle. So that one is that one. Okay, so actually we do need this right here to help me. Alright, these two are important. So after the casing shape, and then we do all of this. And then this one. This is probably important too. These are all internal components, so I don't have to worry about those. And that's the bolt that holds things together. This one we might need to change because it is kind of on the outside. So starting here, I think I'll try drawing on this section first. So mental layering, which is fun. One other method which I also use a lot is to separate the code, but also kind of because of practical reasons, like for like the bolts where the cartridge sits inside, but you want a background layer and a foreground layer, that has to be split into two separate drawers. So this one, if not interior, so it should be like this. Okay, that looks a bit ugly. I'm actually curious, when does the circle come into play? Oh, okay. So this one goes inside. Alright, so this variation is fully functional. Although I'm confused why it doesn't seem to draw that section. It does actually, but it's really hard to see. Okay, that looks alright. And then one thing I want to do is kind of the baseband. So for the casing, I do have kind of multiple lines that I use, I believe. Yeah. 6, 3, and 2. So I think for cylinder, it's the easiest one to start with. So this one's a Mark 18 smoke grenade. Let me search up the color for that one. I normally don't pay that much attention to grenades in video games, so I don't have the image in my head. Well, actually, I did use a... Seems to be two variants. It's one with the baseband and the writing on it, which seems interesting. Also, for the people new to Rixas, look at this. Wow. Look at this entire gurney equation being calculated. Anyways, and then also check the latest announcement post for how cool the explosions look. Although the graphics are pretty simple and it's turn-based. You can see me kind of struggle with how to do fragments in a turn-based environment and having to account for thousands of units in the future. That was a bit of a struggle, but that was fun. Anyways, let's go back here. So it is kind of subtly green. Something like this. This looks pretty smoke grenade, right? Okay, so the baseband, I would say, is like somewhere around here. So this isn't really a true baseband. On turns grenades? Yeah, I kind of see that. Oh, I think I might have to separate this into different layers. Maybe. Because this is supposed to be flat and it's supposed to be round. Oh yeah, okay. I'll think about that later. Might have a different option for different baseband positions, but that also probably is for later. I also have to figure out kind of the correct height. I'm sure there's some standard height I could use because generally both tall and short grenades both have a similar height there. Start.x minus divide by 2. Just pick a number. I'm pretty sure negative y goes up. And I think I may need like an extra variable too. This one is baseband color 1, baseband 1 color. Huh, that's not supposed to happen. Why is it doing that? Is it relative? Okay, yeah, it must be. So it's right there floating on the top. So start.y. That one starts at the bottom. Okay. M67 grenade. I guess this one makes sense. Something like this. How does this look? I think this one looks alright. Okay, I think this one is kind of close to what I'm looking for. Yeah, that looks It looks good. I wonder how it looks like when it gets shorter. Just make sure it has the same quality. Yeah, okay. That's good enough, I think. Let me know in the comments below. I think with a bit of lighting this would look nice. Actually, let's port in the lighting right now. See if things explode. So here I need 8-point lights. It's not loading. I think it's the wrong one. Yeah, so I have to kind of reset that. I do think the position has to be a bit different because the starting position is 1200, 800. Start at 1200. Close enough. Okay, that does not look good. Why is it so bright? It's very bright. Yeah, if I want to do this, then I'll have to separate the layers. It's kind of annoying. Why is the baseband not working? Okay, that's weird. The baseband is suddenly not working. What? Oh, okay. I think I know mine's not working. Oh, it's my fault. Alright. I think I'm gonna work on it a bit on some more off stream. But yeah, thank you guys all for coming. See you all next time.